y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I got a few questions to the world, or whoever may be seeing this video, even the ones behind the scenes, maybe trying to shadow ban me because they maybe think I'm too real about some things, or they don't respect my opinion. But this is my question. Why must the left go against the right? Or why must the right go against the left? Why must both the left and the right be separated? Why must there always be a versus? Left wing, right wing. What the heck is that? Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, white, black. What in the world is wrong with people? Why is there such an insanity and an obsession with being better than the other side, or trying to prove something to the other side, trying to compete with the other side? Why are so many people gang affiliated? Everybody's in a gang. Not everybody, but mostly everybody. Your religion is your gang. Your class, if you're a Democrat or Republican, that's your gang. Everybody wants to create a territory and some power or some empowerment behind an organization, a cult, or a crew that they have. And then they're so focused on how they think, and then that to where when someone else expresses something that may possibly debunk what they think and believe, or might even make them feel a certain way, ruffle their feathers because it's not what they believe in, or it's not a part of what their narrative that they're pushing, they will attack them, and then they'll classify them and put them in a certain category, a certain class, and then try to belittle them, try to crucify them to their peers. Is that the key to humanity? Don't you think that's why this world is in the condition that it's in now? Don't you think that's why the human mind is in the condition that it's in now? Because the left is always fighting with the right, or the right is always fighting with the left. It's always a competition. It's always a prejudice. It's always a hate. It's always a stereotype for someone else that's not a part of what they are. That's insane. I don't care how much logic you try to bring to what you stand for and what you think is better than the next. You're insane if you think that your mind, your opinion, and your way of life and what you believe in, whatever cult you belong to, is better than other people's. Now, for myself, I don't belong to nobody's cult. I don't belong to nobody's religion, nobody's politics, none of that. I used to be when I was ignorant, and didn't know any better. But then as I grew and went on my own personal journey as a man, I realized that I don't need to be a part of nobody's fight, because nobody's fight is not a part of me. My fight in life has been on my own. None of these parties, none of these cults, none of these gangs, none of these organizations have helped me when I needed the help, when I needed to pick myself up, when I was met with adversity. And I learned that we are responsible for our own selves. We have an accountability for our own selves. We can't be relying on something we believe in or or someone or something that we're connected to bail us out or justify why we should or shouldn't do something. But all of these organizations, all of these groups, these cults, these gangs, you know, they only just call the inner city people the gangs because of their prejudice towards them. But really, there's gangs on all levels. Higher levels, middle class level, and the lower class. You see the same thing going on. It's insanity. Nobody wants to really unite. Nobody wants to really be on one accord, because no one wants to accept the differences. Nobody wants to take the time to understand, why is this person this way? What made them believe this differently than what I believe? What makes them see things differently from what I see? You just have to try to gain an understanding of someone's mind, their thoughts, their emotions, and then when you do have a conversation with certain people, you realize you're not really you don't think that differently at all. It's just that you have a different view, you have a different background, a different lens because of where you came from, where you started, what you were taught. But as you go on your own personal journey and you do your self-learning and you learn the world by yourself or through yourself instead of through other people, through other TV and media, when you learn the world through your eyes, through your experiences, and you learn how to process information without putting a belief behind it, but trying to put a more of an over, under, or understanding of it, I think your comprehension and your prosperity in life will be a lot more promising because of your grasp of how this life really works and how the mind of people works. Because one thing we have to remind ourselves is everybody don't think like us. You can't expect people to have maybe the mind that you have, the intellect that you have, the experiences that you have, the wisdom that you have. People are different, but their wants or their needs, the wants and needs for everybody is all the same. Everybody wants the simple things in life, overall. But unfortunately, a lot of these zooms and whams and all these trinkets and stuff have made people obsessed with material possessions, and they feel like they have no value unless they have these material possessions. And it's like everybody want to compete to get it. You want to tear somebody else down just to lift yourself up. But back to these groups, y'all. At some point, people are going to have to learn how to detach from groups. You know, it's like you got to ask yourself, am I hiding behind this group because I don't want to accept some inner truth about myself or some inner truth about this world that I know deep down is totally different from how I'm being trained and taught? I think some people are a little fearful. They're a little too complacent. And they feel like it's too late to turn back now. I'm already deep in this. It's like, no. Let me just see the end result of this right here. But nobody wants to go internal. Everybody wants to go external. But what's wrong with both? Well, find a balance in this life. I'm constantly trying to strive to find a balance in life. I'm a Libra. My birthday is tomorrow. But I can't expect and try to balance other people out if I'm not trying to balance myself out. Trying to balance yourself out is not telling yourself that you're perfect or that you're, but it's just the effort, the strive to be perfect, strive for perfection, strive to be good to other people, to strive to do your best every day, to strive to understand more, love more, be more considerate, be more understanding, more helpful, and enthusiastic to still instill some light in people, even when there's so much quote-unquote darkness in the world. But I think most people's darkness is buried within them, and they're fighting themselves, but they're taking it out on other people. They're running into groups, and they're taking their frustrations out on other people. Because, whether it's on a smaller scale or bigger scale, a lot of people like to join in their groups. They say misery needs company. It's a lot of miserable people joining these miserable groups, or forming these big, giant, miserable groups, and all it's doing is building a cloud of hate, anger, resentment, and guilt. But instead of taking accountability, people in these groups will rather point their finger at other people and say they're accountable for this. They're the reason why we're in this situation. It's amazing how we put all these classifications and we call all these people in the world certain names and stuff like that. And when we try to say, oh yeah, North Korea, man, you see how they treat their people out there, man? They killing them, man. They got them enslaved. Oh man, you see how Russia doing? But we ain't taking accountability for what goes on right here in this country, America. It's a lot of stuff that people don't want to talk about. It's a lot of stuff that people have done when they join groups, organizations, have terrorized people, have committed genocide on people right in this country. But you know what happens? We turn around and say, hey man, in that country over there, man, they doing that, man. You hear about them Palestinians, man? The Afghanistan, man, they some terrorists. We don't terrorize each other here in this country. When we're a part of these groups that we join, that we so strongly believe in and are loyal to, we don't want to take accountability for that. We don't want to take accountability for the fact that because we run and hide in these groups and we build misery, and we already had, most of us have this misery already, but we build this hate towards the world and towards people that's within arm's reach. And we take our frustrations out on them and we demonize them, even though we're the ones that's being demons, acting like demons, attacking people, killing people, but acting holy though, like you're doing this in the name of God. Come on, man. Stop hiding in groups. Learn to stand alone. Because when you're met with adversity by yourself, ain't nobody gonna bail you out. You gotta bail yourself out. So, do you wanna die alone, or do you wanna die in a group full of people who are miserable because they're alone, or who are scared to be alone? When I say die alone, your expiration is your expiration. It's not anybody else's but yours. Come on, y'all. We got to take accountability. Stop hiding in groups.